I don't know why you would deviate away from what you've been doing. So, yeah, that's, I mean, still, it is the most interesting and topical discussion on the show. And by a large margin, everything else on the show has largely felt flat. The Hurt Syndicate and MJF stuff is leading the charge. The Death Rider stuff is legitimately dying a death. They need a new world champion ASAP. I can't take this shit anymore. And I love Samoa Joe. And tonight what they did, it wasn't offensive as some of Moxley's other main events, but I guess we could talk about this, Jesse. Anarchy in the Arena, officially set. It is going to be the Death Riders and the Bucks. And apparently Gabe Kidd from New Japan Pro Wrestling, he's now in the fold. Where he came from, I don't really know. Outside of his match with Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom in January, I don't really see what he has to do with anything that's going on here with the Death Riders and the Ops. But he's there. Anarchy in the Arena, it's going to be a conglomeration of those guys against the Ops. That's Will Hobbs, Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, and Kenny Omega. So those are the four. I don't know who else is going to be in that with the baby faces. We got 5 on the heels. We got Mox. We got Gabe Kidd, supposedly. We got the Bucks, Matt, Nick Jackson, and Claudio. That's 5. Unless they want to just ramp it up and do 6 and 7. We don't know. I think 5 is the max here. We got 5 on the baby face, but we got 5 on the heels, rather, and 4 on the baby face. Who is, I'll start with this, Jesse. Who is going to be that 5th person? Because we got Hook, who could come out of nowhere. We got Katsuyori Shibata. I mean, those are 2 boring picks, but Hook has been replaced by Will Hobbs, so we don't really know what role he's going to play in all this. He could very well turn heel and say, fuck the Ops. They fucked me over and replaced me very easily, so they could go kick rocks. Hook, yeah. Katsuyori Shibata, or we could see a returning Eddie Kingston. I don't know if anybody's talking about Eddie Kingston, or maybe Eddie Kingston's ready to come back. I know he's got history with Jon Moxley. He would fit well over there on the babyface side. Darby Allin's also a possibility. I don't know when he gets done with Mount Everest. That's a long shot, though. That's going to be happening in about a week and a half, so I don't really think it's going to be Darby. Eddie Kingston, Katsuyori Shibata, or Hook are my top 3 picks. So what do you think about the babyface side?
Where's Orange?
I think Orange Cassidy is severely hurt. He's going to be out several months.
Is he? What's wrong with him? Is he
I don't know. Something. I don't
know. Eddie Kingston would work very well there.
Yeah.
Huge fan favorite baby face right there. Been out for a while. Be a nice little surprise. Yeah. I definitely take a Eddie Kingston right there.
It could be Jay White, Billy.
Jay White's not ready.
Yeah, it could be Jay White. I mean, I don't know how injured that hand was, but it could be Jay White.
Yeah, or Brian.
Bryan Danielson, that would make sense. I don't think they bring him back after his issues and put him in the Anarchy in the Arena match.
Well,
even though he was in it last year.
Anarchy, I mean, don't forget, man. These no holds barred, no DQ matches, all of that stuff. Those are actually safer for an injured wrestler. I mean, as far as doing spots and shit like that. It's. Remember when Shawn Michaels in that injured back finally made his dramatic comeback? He came back to a street fight with Triple H, right?
Yeah.
Much easier to conduct that match than a regular spot, a suplex, that shit. Just pretend to hit me with a chair instead. You know what I'm saying?
Sean Ross Sapp, someone in the chat says, this is Hackstar05. SRS has Willow in the match. I don't see that happening. You want Willow and Marina in Anarchy in the Arena? How would that work out?
Oh, I'm assuming they're in it. I assume they're already
They'll be a part of it. They're not officially going to be a part of the 5-on-5 match.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at this point, they're a part of the story. It makes sense. They are. I mean, they've had interactions plenty of goddamn. It's not random. It makes sense. So
it makes sense. I just don't see them doing a full-fledged Willow in the match and Marina in the match battling the guys for 20 minutes and it's fucking sheer chaos. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't know how they would pull it off. I mean, is it just going to be just them fighting each other through the whole goddamn thing? I don't know how they would pull it off.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I thought of that too, but I don't think that's going to be a thing at the pay-per-view. Someone mentioned Adam Copeland. I don't see Copeland fitting into this. I don't even fit. Now he's done with this shit. I don't why would you want to see him come back and integrate himself into the Death Rider shit again when he's got other things that he could absolutely take his time with. I don't know. You want to see Copeland in this?
I don't see him fit in there.
No. The Anarchy.
I like Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston would work for sure. And I'm sure he's got a lot to say about the way Jon Moxley has destroyed the company legitimately over the last 9 months. The Anarchy in the Arena is a concept that AEW, once upon a time used as a way to get us through the pandemic. And I feel Stadium Stampede matches like that.
Yeah.
I don't mind the matches, but it has gotten to a point, and nobody could sit here and tell me that I'm only, shitting on AEW, and I don't say this same thing about WWE. I absolutely do, and I already have this year in regards to War Games. We're already starting to feel that same vibe with War Games. We felt that way with Hell in a Cell when Vince McMahon named the pay-per-view Hell in a Cell, and we only seen a Hell in a Cell every fucking year because it was the month of October, and hell is synonymous with Halloween, and Vince wanted to do it with his big red ugly cell. Or we got TLC because it was December, or Elimination Chamber because it's February every single year, which we still see today. But the point I'm trying to make is you have these gimmick matches, and they're ingrained at the same show in the same way every single year, and you have now manipulated your fan base to expect it because it's double or nothing. Now, right. I get that it is a staple match for AEW, but that doesn't mean let's do the fucking same match 4 years in a row and kill the vibe of the match and the gimmick. I feel like a gimmick like this and a gimmick like War Games and a gimmick like Hell in a Cell, it doesn't need to be seen every single year. You lessen the effect of that match or those gimmicks the more you do it. I wish that they would take a year or two off and do it when it really matters. Did they need to do it last year? No, they didn't. It actually would have made more sense for them to take last year off and do it this year, being that the Death Rider story is basically taken over their television. Now it's just a common thing, and it's not appealing to me, and I just find it to be utterly boring. I think Tony Khan uses it as a crutch because he's too busy to book an actual story with actual matches that mean something. So he throws a bunch of different people and a bunch of different conflicts in the same match, and he calls it Anarchy in the Arena because it's easy for them to book. It takes zero brain power to book something like that. That's why he does it. I don't necessarily like it, Jesse. I don't know how you feel about it, but, Anarchy in the Arena, Hell in a Cell, War Games, they're really weighing on my patience, man. I would like to see these gimmicks in these types of matches just take a break because less is always more.
It is, man, and I wanna applaud their efforts to make a new match. Before there was a Royal Rumble, there was no Royal Rumble, and the whole concept would have been asinine to anybody until it was invented, and then it was stuck with, and then throughout the years it became classic. Same for any other match. Before it existed, it wasn't there. Then it did. Then it caught on. I can appreciate them trying to start a new tradition with Anarchy in the Arena, but like you just said, it shouldn't come on at a schedule. It should come when the situation calls for it. Like you pointed out. So I don't like that it's on a schedule, but I do like the fact that it exists and they want to make it a tradition.
Yeah, tradition. Yeah, traditions are like you said, the Royal Rumble. Tradition in AEW to me would be the Owen Hart tournament. And last year they finally integrated. Hey man, you win this tournament, you go to All In and you wrestle for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's a tradition, and I hope that tradition continues because that's the best use of the tournament. The gauntlet matches, these gauntlet matches, or whatever the fuck they call it, these casino battle royale gauntlet matches, whatever the fuck they do. Those they've done so many of those. And it's already ruined the appeal of that. To me, I said this last year when we covered All In. That match should specifically be saved for All In as a staple match for All In. Get everybody there. It's the biggest show that you do all year. And have the winner of that get a title match at Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe in September. Or at All Out would be a great way to do that as well. I just feel like the way that they go about it, it's it's more of a hassle to continue booking faction warfare every single year to keep that gimmick alive. Why do we need fucking factions every year battling each other? It's the same fucking thing. Last year we had Jack Perry light himself on fucking fire. And we had Darby Allin hanging from the middle of the ring upside down while the Bucks super kicked him with thumbtacks at the bottom of their shoes. What makes you think they are going to do anything that is even remotely close to what they did last year? So you're just repeating the same gimmick and lessening the effect of the gimmick by doing it more and more. Traditions. This is not a tradition. To me, it's lazy. The Royal Rumble is a tradition. The Owen Hart Tournament's a tradition. There's not many traditions in pro wrestling. You should put more energy into those types of things instead of doing it with this.
Yo. I need to give someone credit here. Christopher Clinton says, and I just looked it up, he's absolutely correct. Gabe Kidd is the one who injured Eddie Kingston.
There you go.
There you go, right there.
I didn't even know that, man. I just looked at Eddie Kingston and said, you know what? He fit into this, man. It's about time he comes back, right?
Look at that. That's like a glove.
There you go.
That's perfect.